Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Let's get started, guys. All you have to do is copy how rich people think. Think rich to get rich. Wealth principle. Your income can grow only to the extent you do. Wealth principle. If you want to change the fruits, you will have to change the roots. If you want to change the visible, you must first change the invisible. What you cannot see in the world is far more powerful than anything you can see. Wealth principle. Money is a result. Wealth is a result. Health is a result. Illness is a result. Your weight is a result. We live in a world of cause and effect. The only way to change your outer world is to first change your inner world. What you hear, you forget. What you see, you remember. What you do, you understand. Declaration, a formal statement of energy into the universe and throughout your body. Place your hand over your heart and say, my inner world creates my outer world. Touch your head and say, I have a millionaire mind. Wealth principle. Thoughts lead to feelings. Feelings lead to actions. And action leads to results. Every child is taught how to think about and act in relation to money. Thoughts lead to feelings. Feelings lead to actions. Action leads to results. Your programming leads to your thoughts. Your thoughts lead to your feelings. Your feelings lead to your actions. And your actions lead to your results. Wealth principle. When the subconscious mind chooses between deeply rooted emotions and logic, emotions will almost always win. The first element of change is awareness. The second element of change is understanding. The third element of change is disassociation. The fourth element of change is reconditioning. Declaration. Place your hand over your heart and say, what I heard about money isn't necessarily true. I choose to adopt new ways of thinking that support my happiness and success. Touch your head and say, I have a millionaire mind. Wealth principle. If your motivation for acquiring money or success comes from a non-supportive root, such as fear, anger, or the need to prove yourself, your money will never bring you happiness. Remember, your inner world reflects your outer world. Declaration. Place your hand over your heart and say, what I modeled around money was their way. I chose my way. Touch your head and say, I have a millionaire mind. Declaration. Place your hand over your heart and say, I release my non-supportive money experiences from the past and create a new and rich future. Touch your head and say, I have a millionaire mind. Wealth principle. The only way to permanently change the temperature in a room is to reset the thermostat. In the same way, the only way to change your level of financial success permanently is to reset your financial thermostat. Wealth principle. Consciousness is observing your thoughts and actions so that you can live from true choice in the present moment rather than being run by programming from the past. Nothing has meaning except for the meaning you give it. Remember, thoughts lead to feelings, which lead to actions, which lead to results. Place your hand over your heart and say, I observe my thoughts and entertain only those that empower me. I have a millionaire mind. Thoughts lead to feelings. Feelings lead to actions. And actions lead to results. Wealth principle. You could choose to think in ways that will support you in your happiness and success instead of ways that don't. Rich people believe I create my life. Poor people believe life happens to me. Wealth principle. Money is extremely important in the areas in which it works, and extremely unimportant in the areas in which it doesn't. What you focus on expands. Like attracts like. Wealth principle. When you are complaining, you become a living, breathing crap magnet. Wealth principle. There's no such thing as a really rich victim. Declaration. Place your hand over your heart and say, I create the exact level of my financial success. Touch your head and say, I have a millionaire mind. We're going to pause for 5 seconds after we say that. Millionaire mind. Rich people play the money game to win. Poor people play the money game to not lose. Wealth principle. If your goal is to be comfortable, chances are you'll never get rich. But if your goal is to be rich, chances are you'll end up mighty comfortable. If you shoot for the stars, you will at least hit the moon. Declaration. Place your hand over your heart and say, my goal is to become a millionaire and more. Touch your head and say, I have a millionaire mind. Rich people are committed to being rich. Poor people want to be rich. The number one reason most people don't get what they want is that they don't know what they want. Develop the attitude of whatever it takes. Wealth principle. The number one reason most people don't get what they want is that they don't know what they want. Always get what you want, what you subconsciously want. First, you subconsciously don't really want wealth. Or second, you're not willing to do whatever it takes to create it. I commit to being rich. This is the warrior's way. No excuses, no ifs, no buts, no maybes, and failure is not an option. Wealth principle. If you're not fully, totally, and truly committed to creating wealth, chances are you won't. Rich people are committed enough to do whatever it takes. Period. In other words, the universe will assist you, guide you, support you, and even create miracles for you. But first, you have to commit. Declaration. Place your hand over your heart and say, I commit to being rich. Touch your head and say, I have a millionaire mind. Rich people think big. Poor people think small. Everything changes the moment you begin to think big. Wealth principle. The law of income. You will be paid in direct proportion to the value you deliver according to the marketplace. You have to include adding value to other people's lives. The purpose of our lives is to add value to the people of this generation and those that follow. Research shows that the happiest people are those who use their natural talents to the utmost. Entrepreneur. A person who solves problems for people at a profit. It's time you started playing the game of a life in a big way. Declaration. Place your hand over your heart and say, I think big. I choose to help thousands and thousands of people. Touch your head and say, I have a millionaire mind. So the remaining clips of the secret of the millionaire mind will be in the next video. Go into the playlist to see if it's available. If it's not, just stay tuned and wait. And besides that, thank you guys for tuning in. Much wealth and blessings to y'all.